calling you a radical. I'm here at Onofre. So the propaganda, now stay with me. These are real important. I'm going to go slow and be calm. 3 issues here. 1, the propaganda Chamber of Commerce nightmare has begun. Bill Monroe in Oregonium, folded up and just pretend in Oregon. Projection, lies, projection, and I'll explain. 2, the decommissioning lie scandal, the Lawrence Foundation here, which is a rouge here. This nightmare on how much money, how many years, whatever. It's a loot job from hell. The New Green Deal has to kill all nuclear. I know OAC personally. She's right there next to me in many videos when she was just a young girl. She's still young. She's a fucking gem. Do not kid yourself. And so, anti-nuclear. This is nuclear Waterloo. 3, the charges at Hanford on this waste. So, let's start off with Holtec. Okay, Holtec, who I know, I'm hoping to get an interview with in the next couple days. So, I'm probably going to move down the coast a little bit to Oceanside. Got a lot of brew, nuclear Waterloo. So, they'll tell you, Kevin, the American populace refuses to deal with nuclear waste for debt. You know that. And I said, yeah, we're on your team. And I've come to realize they are, you know. Of course, they're going to make a lot of money, but on the other dynamic is Westinghouse, Brookfield. Westinghouse goes bankrupt, takes Toshiba down. The World Bank bails out Toshiba. Who buys Westinghouse? Mitt Romney on Balco. Bain Capital sells to Brookfield. Why would Brookfield? That's Jared Kushner, 666 boy, all the same old players, fucking real estate, because there's a lot of money. Molasses wars, sugar wars, textile wars, plutonium wars. So this thing in these spent fuel pools has been sitting in this nightmare where right here behind us is the Winter White House. I hope you can see the sky beautifully. I mean, it's so great. Rainstorm, Fukushima rain been moving across. That's a long ways over there, Fukushima, right? Yeah, it's a long ways, dead tide pools, jet stream. But, so the waste. Into the canisters. That process, they says, the decommissioning process, 50 years, so they can amortize the fucking loot job. It's supposed to be sitting in risk-free rate of return bond. That was part of the Congressional Act of 1971. That was the trade-off for this monster Winter White House on chemo. Right? That money's supposed to be lost, set aside in what we call risk-free return, which is the United States bond market, but isn't risk-free. Not now. Who knew that we'd have $23 billion in debt? It's not risk-free, and I used to teach that. But so this is the scam that they play, the scambaggery. I mean, this money's supposedly set aside in bond. You know, it's not supposed to be pension stuff. Promised to pay GE on Balco. No, it's there. I mean, when I was on Wall Street, we oversaw sort of this stuff. And they had, I mean, back in then, it got guarded like a wolf because we had public watchdogs, not like this public watchdog rouge that's going on now. Fucking penning for 49 gold. So out of that, they cut holes in the side of Dolly Parton there and then move it out of those. If I've been in there, the spent fuel pool stacked on spent fuel pool, I mean, never set up. The most dangerous situation in the world is no spent fuel. How it hasn't gone yet is beyond me. Fucking, they can't handle but a little teeny shake. They were never designed for this. They're over capacity. They've been over capacity since the set. We're paying a fine. And you think these are public utilities. They're not. The likes of Bill Eugenics Gates, fucking Al fucking I'm Clean, fucking Green, fucking 7,000 Irvine Cove Gore own these fucking. These are monsters that own these fucking things. Same old fucking thing. Kevin reached into the bag. So out of there into the dry canister, shoot into that containment. On shock, oh yeah, they're built on shock absorbers, big ones. You know, I can show you the shock absorbers. And so, is it safer than it by 1,000,000 times? Why would you block? So they were way ahead of Kevin. We're going to set the model right here. This was San Juan Capistrano right here. I'm having a conversation. Kevin, we're going to show the world, Cal Edison, PG&E, that we're not just all scumbaggery, fucking crooked looting thieves. Kamala Harris, where are you now? We need you. We're going to show the world that we can clean this up faster. We're going to set the world's playbook on clean, which they were doing it. They were so far ahead of schedule, showing we can do this in like this. This is not going to cost 60 years and 10 gazillion. Now, by the way, once this reactor is tore down, which they will, they want to put the debris in Utah and the energy dump sites where the generator's at, illegally, Thelma's hot, the reactor had a meltdown. So I want a big rock placed right here, and I'm going to do it. If I have to do it on my own, I'm going to work with the Public Parks Commission. You know, a lot of these people are my friend, even in security. They will never demission this all the way because this is going to stay hot for thousands of years. This 60-year window, it's a rouge. It's a sham. There's no 60 years. Tear it down, get it off the... Fuck yes. But we have to have markers. Here, that's the marker I want. And so... But out of those spent fuel pools into the fucking canisters is the marquee event. It's got to happen. They were 78% complete. And then all of a sudden this whistleblower comes out, caught on a lip. It's a rouge. It's a fucking sham. These are plants to stop this fucking decay because it was going too fast, too smooth. You're talking trillions and gazillions, Google, of money. These nuclear madmen were saying, oh my God, look what they're doing. They're onto our fucking decommissioning lie and our big loot fucking thing that we've just lived on that money. So, to the salmon. So the propaganda machine, Bill Monroe, he's the propaganda paid fucking whore that he is. And so it's out in the origami and folded up and just pretend today, oh, the projections for this year on one drainage or coho are higher than last year's projections. Now remember, projections, they're still talking about last year's projections. Last year's projections came in at 30% of projection. What does a projection fucking matter at this point after we know the full number? Now he's only saying this on one where there's no dams. On the Willamette, on the, you know, in Tillamook Bay, because they know we can't count them. I mean, the sink should be emergency closed, but they'll tell you to ODFW that we have no lawsuit by the Sierra Club. We have no lawsuit by Friends of the Earth. We have no lawsuit by Greenpeace because they've been hijacked and they work for the nuclear industry. They buy them. It's real simple. So, Hanford, don't let me forget Hanford. So, the DOJ, this is a major, major story, nuclear Waterloo. The DOJ goes in and accuses, and it's another rouge. This small company is Lockheed Martin. The nuclear industrial complex on Balco's gone mad. On Balco. Whoops. That don't happen very often. Better not happen again, Kev. Okay, let's get my balancing act down. The DOJ? Civil suits? I thought that was grassroots, or excuse me, public funded environmental groups. That's what the NGO laws were about. I thought Greenpeace did that. I thought Sierra Club did that. I thought Friends of the Earth did. The DOJ is supposed to go after people criminally, put people in jail. Now they're filing civil actions for fraud? Just like Savannah River, Georgia. Speaking of the waste, the DOE goes in. The Department of Energy, which works for us, we pay them to kill us. They go into Savannah River, Georgia, the fairy tale Tabarus of Babylon, the Mox Fuel fairy tale that was at San Onofre, that blew all over you, some of the worst spent fuel pools on Balco. They go in last year, 2 years ago, at the end of Barry Antoine Obama nuke them to death, fucking cover up Fukushima rat weasel Gregory Jacko now, who covered up this, is head of your public watchdog who's moved here. You don't want to run into me. You know, I don't believe in violence, but my YouTube camera is mired in sword, and I'll get in his face. Just like I did Allison, they'll run from me. Now stay with me. So, on the Hanford dynamic, Savannah River, they go in, do an internal investigation. Now, I spoke on the Hill in the early day when this Savannah River nightmare fairy tale. We have Mox Fuel, Riva, French government backed, bankrupt. Chicago Bridge and Iron, bankrupt. Westinghouse, Toshiba, bankrupt. How come they're still functioning? How come they're still fucking anything? They're Brookfield now? Why? Because the World Bank stepped in. The Japanese, you, the taxpayer, fucking bank bailout on chemo. You all fucking wound up at this is 10 times. This bank bailout's not only looting your money and devastating you economically, it is giving you cancer and killing you. Why can't you wake up to this in New York, New Jersey, down by the fucking refinery, Bruce? Remember when Springsteen was an anti-nuclear? What happened? You know, in the shadow of the fucking refinery, Kevin Blanche, literally born in the nuclear USA, I was conceived right there on the beach. I was made there. My dad murdered right here, right? My dad was killed right there. I mean, that's Pendleton, Winter White House. I mean, you think that I don't have some skin in this fucking game? Oh, do I have skin in this fucking game? So, they go in, they do an internal audit. We are 28% complete. Well, you've billed the United States taxpayer for 78% complete, to the tune of $29 billion. Well, I can do math. I mean, simple math. What's 28% of $29 billion? What's the difference? About $22 billion they've stole? That's beyond fraud. I mean, you go steal $1,000 somewhere. Go steal $1,000 right here. They'll throw you under the prison. But they can still 20, and then they accuse it, well, and then they say in their report, their final conclusion report, that this is blatant lies. No, this is fraud. And fraud with malice, you go to prison for. And so, it blows my mind. Shoot a fucking apple off my head how the United States taxpayer in the United States, and I want to say this to, I'm going to send this to her aide, you know, our young politician from Jamaica, which I spend a lot of time in Jamaica because I have to fly that cheap flights into LaGuardia and I have to go across and catch that bus. I'm there all the time. I know her. She's been to my rallies. She knows what I know, this generation. You ain't going to fuck with her, I can tell you that, on this, the new Green Deal. Oh, good catch, Kev. Anti-nuclear. So I got this under the reactor, so we're going to stay on this. Got a lot of important work. So why are they not in handcuffs? Why? Because the nuclear industry. The greatest cult, the greatest crime syndicate in human history, the greatest mass murders kill the sea, the untouchables. Well, you can say they're the untouchables. Maybe you can call Jill Stein's CIA fucking, well, KGB father in and call yourself Green to come get Dillinger. Well, come get me. You know, shoot me going out of the fucking theater, because I already got a bullet hole right in my fucking heart. That's called the central line. You know, you fucking monsters. So, Kevin reached into the bag and he slung the fucking stone. It struck that nuclear giant in his fucking forehead, and that nuclear giant, he fell to the earth, and he irradiated this earth for time and all eternity. This land is hot. We have Geiger counters with us, and we've been doing readings, and we'll do more. We'll be in Oceanside for a while, you know. I leave my phone number, you know, help a guy out, you know. Need money.